let's carry on. Now, the question, the following question is, who is the person who's doing the Isur? We're going to see a couple of opinions here, and then later on I'll talk about Reb Chaim, who has a totally different way of understanding this whole halacha. So, who's the one who's doing the Isur? So far, it seemed that the person who's hired, right, you're not allowed to be hired on Shabbat, right? That's what it seemed to say. I'll go back to here. I mean, the truth, let's read this a bit more carefully. Who's the person who's doing who's violating this Isur? So I think intuitively we're thinking, well, you earned money on Shabbos, that's the problem, right? But it's not what it says. It says if you hire someone on Shabbos, you're not allowed to pay him, right? Just a funny thing, right? Because, oh, I'm sorry, I know I hired you, but I'm not allowed to pay you. What can I do? I'd be in violation of Hilchot Shabbat if I pay you. So that's based on that diuk, the Menorah Torah says, "Kashem she'asur litol schar Shabbat asur liten," because it says in the Braita. But then others have pointed out, the Tiradid points out that he hasn't seen anyone agree with this understanding. On the other hand, we have learned, if any of you remember a long time ago, long before Corona, if there was such a time, we learned this Braita about if you're lo aleinu v'lo al af echad, if someone's house is burning down on Shabbos, you're allowed to say kol mechabeinu mafsid, which is an insinuation of hiring people. Right? Are you allowed to, the nafkamina would be, are you allowed to hire a goy on Shabbos? Right? Am I allowed to hire a goy on Shabbos? Because if the problem is only to earn something on Shabbos, so I'm not earning anything. I'm hiring a goy. The goy is the one who's going to earn. Right? Now, the guy is the one who's going to earn, and he has no Isur to work on Shabbos. He's supposed to work on Shabbos, right? As we know. So, if I say Kol mechabeinu mafsid, what I mean is my house is burning down. I'm not allowed to do it myself, but anyone who would be so kind as to put it out, which would have to be a goy because Jews aren't allowed to, will be reimbursed. So, effectively, I'm hiring him on Shabbos. That could definitely be based on the words b'dlikai til, right? Why is there such a heter? Because your house is burning. We're afraid of what the person might do because his house is burning. Again, we're talking about in a situation where we're talking about small huts that won't endanger anyone, etc., etc., etc. I just want to be very clear that nowadays there are definitely many justifications to put out a fire. But they're talking about in a lab case where the only thing you can do is hire a guy, you're allowed to hire a guy. So there are two ways of reading this. One way is to say, well, you are allowed to hire a guy. The other way is to say, well, b'dlikai til. Someone's house is burning down, he's going to get all nervous and he'll be all worried. So we say, well, hire a guy. Just do it, right? Don't worry about the fact that you're not allowed to hire people on Shabbos. To see this in the Chayei Adam. מה שנוהגים לזכור יהודי לשמור העגלות מגניבה, דבר קשה. איך הסוחר עובר על לפני עיוור. You'll note, right, this is Chayei Adam saying, are you allowed to hire Jews to watch the carriages on Shabbos? Right, you put your carriages in the parking lot and no one goes around there on Shabbos because you're not to use the carriage on Shabbos. So the goyim are going to steal them. So you hire Jews to watch the carriages for you. The problem is that the people who are hiring the guards are over lifnei iver. You'll note they're not over on schar Shabbat. They're not in violation of schar Shabbat. They're in violation of lifnei iver. They're in violation of causing someone else to transgress schar Shabbat. לכן ראוי שיתנמו שישמור גם ביום ערב שבת קודש ומצא שבת קודש זה שוד אז אבק שכר שבת בעוולה. We're going to talk about עוולה later on, but the main point I wanted here is this, is what I mentioned over here, right? There are permissible ways of doing this, but the Chayei Adam seems to reject this idea. It's saying hiring the people before Shabbos to work on Shabbos is not a problem. So it seems to be a machloket between the Chayei Adam and the Menorah Torah. Menorah Torah says that the person who hired them is in transgression as well, and the Chayei Adam says no, he's only lifnei iver. It's earning that's forbidden on Shabbos. Shema Torah Hilchata says asur ze shel schar Shabbat chal על מקבל השכר, אך גם על הנותן השכר חל איסור, שהרי הוא מכשיל את חברו, רק את חיי אדם. And therefore, מותר לתת שכר שבת לנוכרי, תמורת עבודתו שעבד בהיתר בשבת. So, just in a word, the machloket here is the isur only on the person who's earning the money, or is it also on the person who's hiring? Right? Minat Torah says that the isur is also to hire on Shabbat. The Chai Adam says, no, that's only lifnei iver issue. Shmat Shaki Chata agrees with the Chai Adam. So that was just a brief